What is up, guys? Today, Fortnite unvaulted the hunting rifle, and we're going to be talking about it in this video. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of Fortnite unvaulting the hunting rifle, and if you're going to be using it. And if you guys would like to use my code in the shop when getting anything, it is EvolveJake, just like my channel name is, and it is underneath the webcam at all times. So if you guys are unfamiliar with the hunting rifle, weapon we've had throughout years of Fortnite, it's essentially a scopeless sniper that is good at making like quick peeks and medium to long range. But since it is third person and doesn't have a scope, it is a bit harder for a lot of players to use at longer ranges just to like see the enemies. Regardless of rarity, you're going to be body shotting for about 90 damage or so. The gold will actually hit for 100 to the body, but that's like the top end of the damage. And either way, the difference between like 90 damage, 95, 100, it's not the biggest deal to me on a body shot. It's all like ballpark the same. So little under 100 for the body shot, which is quite good. Headshots will deal well over 200 damage most of the time since it has a 2.5 headshot multiplier. And with the gold dealing 100 body damage, the gold will actually deal 250 damage to the head, making it a one shot and then in zero build. And then all the other rarities are just kind of like slightly under 250 as far as headshot damage goes. So the potential on this weapon is quite good. Body shots are solid. Headshots are very good. One unfortunate aspect of this weapon is it is currently the only weapon in the loot pool that uses heavy ammo. And while playing a bit with it today, I actually had a hard time just getting enough ammo for it. I think when they added this weapon back into the loot pool, they forgot to actually add the heavy ammo back into the ammo box loot pool, since this is the only one that was using heavy ammo. No other weapon in the loot pool previously was using it, so it wasn't in the ammo boxes. And so, yeah, I don't know if I was just very unlucky and I wasn't getting it today, or if you actually can't get heavy ammo out of ammo boxes currently, but every time I found the hunting rifle, I was very scarce on ammo, and most enemies I was eliminating weren't dropping ammo either unless they were also using the hunting rifle. So ammo is a bit of a concern, which makes this weapon somewhat limited and makes, you know, your shots pretty viable. I think with how this season plays, the hunting rifle can actually be quite good though, because as I said, it's like the perfect medium to long range sniper. And with how this season plays, we have like a smaller map, everything's more condensed. It's not like you get into like extreme long range fights. So even the long range end of what fights happen on this season, I feel like the hunting rifle can do just fine. And the quick, you know, fast paced kind of snappy nature of it, I think also goes well with the quick fast paced nature of this season. It's going to be a weapon that obviously you get picks with. If you're able to, you know, third party a fight and chip in damage with this, that could be really helpful. If you're able to shoot at an unsuspecting opponent, opening a fight with a body shot or a headshot from this is something that will give you a pretty big advantage. And in situations where you kind of have a stalemate fight where you and an opponent are both playing off of cover, being able to quickly peek and throw out like 100 body shot damage or 200 headshot damage is something where, as I said, the potential is there and it is quite high. I also think one of the things that really makes it fit well into the season is just how lots of players have been running their inventory this season. Most players have been using kind of like 3 weapons with a shotgun, a mid-range weapon, and then a long-range weapon like the Mr. Blasty infantry rifle, Mythic Red Eye. And the hunting rifle can slot right into that long-range slot and still feel somewhat natural with the rest of your items because you have all your bases covered. And I think that is one of the things that makes it do well in this season, whereas other seasons I was less inclined to run it. I think the fact that we have mostly third-person ARs kind of limits their effectiveness at range and gives room for something like the hunting rifle to, you know, have more of a place to shine. So I think it is quite good, and if you're someone who likes sniping, you've liked the hunting rifle in the past, you can replace your infantry rifle with it, you could replace your Mr. Blasty with it, and it will feel, you know, very natural to you. I think most players are probably just going to prefer to use the Mr. Blasty or the infantry rifle because I feel like the ceiling is higher on the hunting rifle, but the average level of the Mr. Blasty and the infantry, since they, you know, they are more spammable and they're easy to use, most people are probably going to be a bit more consistent with those weapons. And in chaotic fights where you and the opponent are both using a lot of mobility, I would so much rather have the Mr. Blasty because, as I've talked about several times in several videos this season, the hip fire on the Mr. Blasty is like incredible in those like shockwave chasing situations. So I think the hunting rifle is good. Probably not going to be my preferred thing to use, but I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it, and it's definitely going to be a solid choice in the season. And there's probably going to be a good amount of fights that happen between now and the end of the season where, you know, you just get headshotted by this thing. And even though you usually aren't going to be one-shotted by it unless it's a gold one, getting hit for 240 by the purple one, it might as well be a one hit because you're going to be very easy to clean up at that point. So you got to be a little bit more aware of what's going on to not get, you know, headshotted by this. Also, I think the stone head that you can get from the Springfield Town Square that protects you from a shot worth of headshot damage is something that a lot of people will probably see rise in value because the hunting rifle has been introduced. I don't think I would want to carry that strictly because of this, though. I've talked before about like the way this season plays and the pacing of this season. I feel like marking yourself on the map like that is more detrimental this season than it has been in previous seasons. So I don't see myself taking the Stonehead, you know, only because of the hunting rifle. But if you are someone that just absolutely hates getting headshotted by snipers, that is something that you could potentially do. Also, one final thing I want to talk about is going to be the bullet drop on it. It doesn't have an absurd amount of bullet drop. I feel like in a lot of situations, the only time you're going to need to really worry about drop is if the opponent's like sprint jumping, using shockwaves, maybe using the slushy. If they're going really fast, you have to worry about it. But for normal player movement, I feel like you can mostly play it like it's hit scan, maybe aiming a little bit in front. But it's not like something you need to think a lot about. The drop is not like super significant or super severe. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Shockwave hammer and the kinetic blade. He's so weak. If that was his last shock he used there, I was going to be sad. One v one. What the f is he shooting at me with? There's a regular AR.